Hi, and welcome to Pimax Frontier. Pimax always pushes innovation that is higher resolution, higher FOV, and higher clarity. That has always been true and always will be so. It's our DNA. But we want to add another dimension to that. But to really explain our idea well, let's look at other industries. Let's look at, for instance, at the MacBook series from Apple. I'm using one every day, not for VR, but for office work, video editing, Photoshop, and thousands of notes. And there are several types of MacBooks out there. If you don't do any video editing, then perhaps the MacBook Air will suffice. The MacBook Pro has more computing power, but the MacBook Air is smaller and lighter. And there's no way to say which one is better. And we see this diversification in many categories. Some people want a compact car, others want an SUV. If you live in a city center, I definitely think a compact car is much easier to get around with. But for long travels, maybe an SUV. And so many car brands don't focus on just one of these, they have both these types of models, both these product lines. So if we look at ourselves, we have the Crystal line, the OG Crystal with the 60D Airlink, which brings wireless high-end PCVR. There's the Crystal Lite, which makes high-end PCVR accessible to everyone. And then the Crystal Super that bumps these specs to 11. We do feel there's space for one more headset. Let's talk a bit about the Super, as we're about to demo it and ship it around the world. It's the first VR headset with a changeable optical engine. It's not just a step up in terms of the optics and panels, we're also bringing innovation on the onboard processing of the image, the ergonomics, as well as the software, with our SLAM algorithm for inside-out tracking of the headset, controllers, and hand tracking. It represents a lot of what we have learned. The Crystal Super isn't made for portability or small size. We want the Super to be the ultimate PCVR headset in terms of clarity, at 57 ppd, the world's first Retina-level VR headset. And when you use a PC for like sim racing or flight simming, portability isn't key. Neither is size or weight. So the Super is built around that idea. Although its size is reduced a lot from the Crystal and the Crystal Lite, it's not a small form headset. And that's okay. Because we see that our headsets are extremely popular among simmers because they provide an immersion that no other brand can provide. Great clarity, comfort, and audio. Our headsets are sturdy too. Maybe it's not too dissimilar from wearing a light helmet or headset when doing real-life racing or real-life flying. It's all a seated experience. And so even like the DisplayPort cable is thick and sturdy, all perfect for that use case. But yeah, we know that there are other VR use cases out there. People watch movies either from their sofa or bed or on the road, and there's also room scale VR with a lot of movement. In VR chat, people do all sorts of things. In other games, people stand up and fight dragons or join battalions in attacks on faraway planets. I can explore crypts and live on desert islands. I can build worlds or destroy them. And this is the thing we love about VR. You can experience anything you want. But this use case is fundamentally different than seated simulator experiences. Ideally, those headsets are light and small, so that you can wear them on the sofa or in your room while you're doing all kinds of acrobatic things. But what is out there for the high-end spectrum? We have seen the industry innovate into this direction thanks to the advent of Micro-OLED technology, and we admire and respect all these companies making VR headsets. And in terms of resolution, there's a lot of great, small and light VR headsets out there. But we still feel they compromise on other things. These headsets are either still heavy or lack a DisplayPort cable, or they lack integrated audio, eye tracking, or they're just not easy to set up because they don't have inside-out tracking. But is it possible to pack all of this into a small form factor headset? Well, this is a question of the industry, or a problem of the industry.
We're ready to take on this challenge. We think the technology is ready. We think now is the time to make a product that fits our requirements. A small form factor with high performance and full features to really go where no one has gone before and push boundaries. So, back to the Crystal Super. The Super already represents so much of what we've learned over the past decade of developing VR headsets. Actually, Pimax is now almost 10 years old, which in VR terms is a long time. We control everything from R&D to production to shipping and customer care. We develop bridge chips and onboard processing chips for faster connection that brings less compression and higher refresh rates. We have developed and learned so much about high-end optics and panels, the same as other areas such as ergonomics and software such as SLAM algorithms and upscaling or foveated rendering. Every piece on the headset, and there are thousands of parts in each headset, is either built or selected by us, designed and assembled and shipped. These parts range from high-quality plastics or lightweight metals to foam to conductors to cameras, cables, and cooling, and then thousands of lines of code. The point is, we know how to create headsets with high-end specs. With virtual reality from a hardware perspective maturing, we think it's fine to think about diversification as well. Plus, consumers want diversity because people are diverse. Not just that, especially since we launched the Crystal Super, which has a micro-OLED optical engine, one often heard request, 100 times, if not 1,000, is whether we, based on this new technology of micro-OLED panels with pancake lenses, could make a small form factor headset. A small form factor that does not sacrifice on features. We hear you. So, to come back to what we said at the start, what about this new dimension? Before, Pimax always pushed in terms of resolution and FOV. We're now adding another one, size. Smaller, lighter, but not less. And so, over 1 year ago, we started to develop a headset that is, for the first time in Pimax history, aimed at a small form size, while still retaining the high clarity and full feature, to really go where no one has gone before. And so, without any further intro, we want to introduce you to the world's smallest, full-feature 8K resolution headset. Hello, Pimax Dream Air. The Pimax Dream Air embodies our dream. It's the world's smallest, full-feature, 8K resolution VR headset. This is small form factor with portability and comfort, without compromising on features or visual clarity. It's a first in the world. Look at that. It's light, small, it's a new direction for Pimax to appeal to a new type of user. And so, we have chosen a new design language and a new look. The Dream Air signals the small form factor era for us, whereas the Crystal line, perhaps also the 5K and 8K before it, are very futuristic. There's almost no curved line in the whole design, very angular. It's strong and powerful design, industrial almost, and we see that same type of industrial design for that use case. If you look at steering wheels or racing rigs or the cockpit of an F-16, then it's all that type of design language. The Dream Air, however, is much more contemporary, modern. It's more fashionable. It has curved lines made of new, different materials. It's social, it's friendly, it's soft and gentle, it's light and small. But obviously, we still put the Pimax V-shape on the front. Still a Pimax inside. The headset itself is lightweight, which is incredible for a full-feature VR headset with an 8K resolution. With that, we mean a resolution of 27 million pixels, integrated eye tracking, hand tracking, integrated inside-out tracking, and integrated spatial audio. And we use a DisplayPort connection for uncompressed visuals at 90 Hz, all inside of it. It's smaller and less than half the weight of a Coca-Cola bottle. The Dream Air is made with a small size and portability in mind. Small size and ultra low weight to make you forget that you're even wearing a VR headset. The soft strap has two main benefits. One is portability. You can just put it into your backpack and go on a journey. The second is that you can lay down on your bed or your sofa to watch a movie or enter some VR worlds, like for instance, VR chat. The strap is strong, yet flexible enough to provide an ergonomical position for every head size. The soft strap, by the way, is self-adjusting. It's like those shoes in Back to the Future. Press the center button to automatically adjust the headset, and the headset will choose the ideal strength for being stable as well as comfortable. The front is cooled using vapor chambers, making sure we keep the headset light and small. As for the cable, we use a thin, soft, and lightweight Type-C DisplayPort cable. The Type-C port helps us reduce size, as do the pancake optics and Micro-OLED panels. This is something that the world hasn't yet seen. When we look at other Micro-OLED headsets, they're all missing something, either the weight or the DisplayPort connection or simply the integrated tracking options. So let's look deeper at the Pimax Dream Air.
Let's look at the product specs. The core technology of the Pimax Dream Air is based on the Micro-OLED optical engine of the Crystal Super. These two headsets share the same panels, lenses, and other components such as the bridge chip. Also, software-wise, they are nearly identical. The headset comes with two Micro-OLED panels, the same as in Crystal Super, each with a resolution of 3840 by 3552 at 90 Hz. This is the highest resolution available for Micro-OLED panels at the moment. Thanks to our integrated bridge chip and onboard processor, this resolution can be run at a refresh rate of 90 Hz, visually uncompressed. Micro-OLED panels don't need local dimming, as each pixel can turn off and on individually. There is no backlight panel. The contrast is incredible, and with this latest generation of Micro-OLED technology, they also deliver visuals in HDR, high dynamic range. We use our own developed pancake lenses again, the same as on the Crystal Super. These are developed not just to be small enough to fit into this headset, but also to create both a large sweet spot and a wide FOV. Long gone are the days that VR headsets only tracked head movement. Yes, with 4 integrated cameras, we track the head movement in 6 degrees of freedom. This is now our 4th headset with integrated SLAM tracking. Onboard cameras do this so you don't need to buy or install base stations. Base station tracking is often default for small form factor headsets because, yes, to develop a SLAM algorithm isn't easy and not something most manufacturers can do on their own. But we think for portable headsets, base stations are extremely unpractical and don't offer a noticeable tracking performance increase. With inside-out tracking, you can go from your gaming room to living room or even use the headset on the train with your laptop. That said, we will offer a click-on Lighthouse faceplate in the future for those users that want to keep using base station tracking. The Dream Air comes with ringless controllers with haptic feedback, but if you forgot them, then you can use hand tracking with gesture control. There is also eye tracking for interaction with software or games, which also contributes to more natural interaction in games such as VR chat and powers features such as dynamic Foveated rendering and auto IPD. With auto IPD, the lenses are always at the ideal distance for a maximum clarity. This is the only VR headset in this weight class and form factor with eye tracking, which we think is a necessity for a premium headset like this. The Dream Air packs so much. This is why we say it's a full-feature 8K lightweight headset. We'll have prescription lenses available on purchase. These you can adjust attach on top of the lenses. The headset has integrated speakers for spatial audio as well as a high-quality microphone. On both sides, you'll find the USB Type-C interfaces, one to be used for display signal from the PC and the other one for accessories such as audio devices. So, how does it compare to the Crystal Super? We think if you want the highest performance without any compromises, then go for the Crystal Super. The Super is also more modular. The whole optical engine can be swapped for QLED and Micro-OLED. But if you want high clarity in a small form factor, then the Dream Air is for you. But even though we can swap some parts and it will be Lighthouse compatible, the Super is far more modular. The Dream line differentiates from the Crystal because its main focus is small form factor while providing high clarity and full features. while the Crystal line is no compromise on visual clarity. There is no right or wrong. Both product lines, Crystal and Dream, will continue and exist parallel to satisfy different use cases. Whatever or however you experience virtual reality, Pimax is the best choice for you.
We expect to start shipping in May 2025, which is slightly later than the Micro-OLED version of the Crystal Super. But we are opening up pre-orders for both of these now. The pre-order price for the Dream Air is $1,199 US. With Prime, it's as following. At the same time, we're also opening up full orders for the 60T Airlink now, shipping early next year. There will also be new batches of the Crystal being produced for users that want wireless PCVR.
One more thing. We said that the Dream Air is made for portability. So what if you're on a train or an airplane? You could bring a laptop, but what if you don't own one or don't want to bring one? We are developing Cobb, a small puck with inside a Snapdragon XR2 chip and a battery. With it, you can use the Dream Air freely in more scenarios, for instance, to stream movies or light applications from this device. Clip it on your belt or put it on a table and enter VR without a PC. That's it. Thank you.